I definitely believe that the stigma needs to end. So many people are suffering in silence, and the reason for that is because we're afraid we're going to be judged. We're afraid we're going to be frowned upon, and I have a 10-year-old daughter, so I feel that this stigma definitely needs to be broken for the future of our children. I want to be able, to let her know that it's okay not to be okay if she does experience any, mental health issues down the road, or if she knows a friend or a family member that she can help out, that it's okay to talk about it, and we shouldn't hide from it anymore.
I think the stigma around mental health today, I think people equate it to people being crazy or struggling, or they can't function, or people that really need help, like serious medical help. And I think that's a big misconception, that someone with mental health can be your neighbor, could be your parent, could be your son or daughter, and it could be something that is undealt with. It could be trauma, it could be many different things. And I think in today's society, people equate mental health to being this like psych ward, crazy type of person, and it's not. It really isn't.
There's definitely a bit of a stigma behind mental health, but now more than ever, people are more open about talking about the problems that they're going through and the issues they're facing. So I feel like now is more than ever a time for people to be able to speak up about their problems, reach out to someone, and discuss what's going on.
I absolutely believe that we should start the conversation of mental health. I was in a situation in a social setting where I was speaking about one of my experiences, and I guess a friend of mine was suffering in silence. So after that social gathering, she contacted me and said, she appreciated me coming out with my story, and she shared her story. So I definitely believe that we should be starting the conversation, because a lot of people are suffering and not sharing their experiences and not getting the help they need.
I think starting the conversation about mental health is huge, and I applaud Canada and many other countries that are leading the way of having these conversations, because I think apart from the stigma being there's a lot of people that have stories that have overcome those challenges, but also are looking for solutions. And the only way to find solutions is to talk about it. For those people that don't even understand what mental health is, and the people that have gone through it or daily cope with it, we all need to come together and really work together to find solutions in our everyday life.
It's very important to talk about what's going on with mental health, whether you're a kid or a child or a young adult and you're going through stuff, or even an adult going through stuff, or you see someone else that needs help and wants to talk about stuff, or even if they don't want to, maybe get them to open up.
There was actually a point in my life where I guess I hit my peak for anxiety and panic attacks. I didn't know how to deal with it. I reached out to a friend because I couldn't even get out of bed. I couldn't even work properly. I wasn't functioning properly, and I literally had to call her every morning just for her to motivate me to get out of bed, and that was a big struggle. So I had to deal with that, but she gave me a lot of amazing advice, and I feel like if I didn't reach out to her, I probably would have been fired from my job, and I don't know what else would have happened.
I'd say growing up, I did experience extreme depression and anxiety. In my community, it was something taboo. You didn't talk about, you just kept going, you didn't really deal with it until it exploded at the end of high school, when I was left with a big conjunction in my life of where to go, what to do. And I had a mental breakdown, and my mom tried to help me through it, but I came to my own decision that I needed help. And further on in life, I definitely finally sought help, got the help I needed, and now today I'm an advocate for young women and young men in my community that don't know much about mental health, and pushing them to get the help early so they can work through it and cope.
I face issues with mental health. I've gotten help before. I think it's really important to reach out, talk to people about what's going on, whether it's a family member or a professional. It's definitely important to get that conversation going and talk about it.
The OK movement is amazing. I joined the campaign. I posted on my social media, and social media is so powerful. Once I posted the OK movement, so many people personally messaged me, people I've never knew before, commented and appreciated that I'm spreading the awareness, and they're sharing their stories with me. And I think it's amazing, and it shouldn't just be a one-year thing. We should do this on a monthly basis or even weekly basis if we could.
I think OK Movement is a movement that encourages people to push that conversation in a very relaxed way, where it doesn't feel intrusive, it doesn't feel like you're in a clinical study. It makes it a conversation between your best friend or your mom or your brother, where you can talk, where you can have the floor, where you can have a safe space. And I think this movement is great, especially for our generation, millennials, and even young people that are trying to maneuver in this space of how do I talk about mental health and where do I find an outlet to share that.
It's really cool that we can leverage our social media to help get attention and help let people know that it's okay to talk about this.